hurt you. If you lose a good woman, everything must scatter.
Thank you for staying with us. The fact that music evokes emotion is obvious. And not only does it make us feel happy, sad, or want to get up and dance, certain melodies are embedded in our memories. For instance, if you hear some theme music that was in some movie that you watched, once you hear that music again, your mind immediately goes back to that movie, or maybe how you felt when you were watching that movie.
Tales by Moonlight. I just remembered it. And then, sunny days sweeping the clouds away. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Are you done?
Oh, okay, yes. Please go ahead, sorry.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
May I now introduce our guest?
Oh, you may.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Abiodun Ibio is a music director. Good morning. And thank you for joining us this morning.
Welcome.
Now, healthy music for children. That, of course, tells us that there's also unhealthy music for children. Okay, which ones are the healthy ones? Okay. The one he just sang, for instance. Well, let's say the one he tried to sing.
No one I remembered, please. I just remembered it. People should not put me in trouble before I'm dragged on social media. You were trying to answer the question.
All right, okay.
The fear of social media.
Before we start mentioning maybe particular music or genre, we're talking about children.
Yes.
And when we talk about children, we cannot in any way overlook their development. So what music does to their brain in helping their development. So whatever music that I would term healthy is what helps that brain development positively.
Okay,
so
please pause. We had a coach here before who told us that even when they are in their mother's stomachs, that they can hear what you say, they can listen to music. You play some kind of music and you can actually feel them. It's as if they're dancing in there. Their movements is like dance movements. Is that really true?
Yes, because, you know, like I was talking about brain development, at that point in the womb, they are about developing too. So music help in forming, like when you go to gym physically. So that's what music does to the brain. So they forming the muscles in the system. So when that sound is being played, the right sound, it resonates with them. For instance, the kind of sound, the kind of genre, the kind of music that will resonate with the infant is a bit different to the early child, you know, they have the infant, early childhood, and middle age, and adolescence. So you can't play heavy music, fast tempo music, and expect them to respond. Sometimes you can even scare those infants with such energetic music. So that's why when they are infant like that, you play songs like lullaby, soft music.
Soft.
That's what their brain can still, just like gymming, you can carry how many kg and later it develops. So at that time, they can't handle that. So that's why when they're in the womb, they're still forming to this music sound is a major thing in child development.
This is very, very important
to pay attention to.
Yes, it's very important to pay attention to because some adults just love music, so to speak. So whether the child is an infant or whatever,
they are playing their music.
Their own music. not
in the
for
house
child.
where the child is.
So how do we, what, so you're saying that is a wrong thing to do?
Unfortunately, it's like something that will always be, because we're in a family. And the parents, like you said, I remember growing up, I used to wake up with one barista music by our neighbor. Early in the morning from like 5:30, we'll start blasting the music. So, and we wake up, I remember that when I wake up, I feel so angry, I feel
tired.
disturbed. Yes, I feel tired, thank you. I did not know at that time until I started doing this, and I remember, I'm like, okay, so this was what this music was doing for me that I didn't even know. So now, if that happens in the family, of course, there's not okay, my parents are not playing the music at home, but my neighbors. So that's why if parents will help the kids to also get away from that, they should be intentional and deliberately play music that resonate, that is suitable for their children every time, especially when they are learning, especially when they are playing. For instance, what we call as adults as play, children is not play, it's serious business. Play, the word we say play. That's why music is really good for them, because music is like play. So play is a business. Play is not another time to rest or to do something different from, we call it extracurricular, it's fine, yes, but that they are longing, they are looking forward to go and play. See them, they can play from morning to night, they don't get tired. But let them come and read. After a while, they get tired. Have you ever thought of why it's like that? Because children are wired to, they have energy. So music is that thing that makes them play too, because you play. What do you call it? You play music.
Now, what? I don't know how to put this question, so I'm just going to put it anyhow. I don't know how many adults can resist watching Tom and Jerry right now, and that's silly music that they play to it. And virtually every children's music, videos, and all those things, they have that kind of
Elements.
those kinds of elements, music elements. Is there a reason for that?
Well, I usually say this to my children and their parents because somehow we run music academy, and one of the things I do is to make sure that we meet with parents time to time, from time to time. So I tell them, all adults, we are pretending children. We are all children somehow. There's a child in every one of us. But because we don't have the big body, we are grown, so the society makes us feel that we can't express something. That thing is there. Because music is play, it's energy, something is coming to you and is winding you up, and there's no way you can resist that, because you want to play too. It's just that now I'm adult, I have to be cautious. I can't be doing this, I'm not a baby. But the truth is that once that kind of music is played, it's just like this music that will make you sad. There's nobody who can resist such music. An artist, this guy that just died, I love, there's one of his lyrics that I really take serious. He said, music does not take permission to enter anybody's system. So if it's a sad music, it should enter and resonate. If it's music that should make you to be, that's why some music are not good when you're driving. High tempo. So when they're high tempo, you should see those songs. You just realize that you're already edgy, because your muscle starts responding unconsciously.
And then your leg begins to love the accelerator more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what, because children, they don't have restriction in expressing themselves. That's why it seems as if it's for them. If it's something that we can't resist, we are all children somewhere inside of us. That's why it's like that.
Okay. Now, we're asking the question around healthy music for children because, as you said, it has a huge role to play on their development.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as you also said, everyone loves music. So long as it is music, everybody loves it. So long as it moves the body, everyone loves it. But I also have this belief, this is me, saying that music is a kind of coding system. It conditions people's thinking long term. You talked about music and driving now. I have this hypothesis in my head that if you listen to certain kinds of music, you will drive in a certain kind of way all the time. If you listen to reggae music, for instance, there is a way you will drive. If you listen to Fuji music, certain kinds of Fuji music, there is a way you will drive. If you listen to Juju music, if you listen to pop, there's a way you will drive. If you listen to Afrobeat, there's a way you will drive. For children as well, it's similar, isn't it? So you are saying that there are certain kinds of music that children should not be allowed to listen to.
Yeah.
How do we avoid that?
So how to avoid that, I'll say we must understand that children are meant to develop, and whatever development we're talking about now has to do with their brain. So it doesn't matter the genre now. It could be any genre at times, but depending on the level, if, like I mentioned, the stages of, so if we are looking at infants, please play the right music, like lullaby, slow music, classical kind of music. That's
classical?
Yes. Slow music, slow tempo music, lullaby, they are soft. They help them to now
relax.
When we get to the early child, I think that's about between age 2 to 6. So now you are looking at a bit of rhythmic music, because at that time, what should develop in their brain is their motor sensory skill, their coordination, moving of their hands. So music that are more rhythmic, that's how you have. So because they need to move, so that they can learn that coordination. Because we want them to grow accordingly. Like
the one that I was singing the other time that somebody was jealous, Sesame Street song.
Because such music, because of the rhythm. And that's why a lot of time, if you look at African children, because our music are so rhythmic, when it comes to motor skill, African children are really strong in that area, because our music are sort of kind of rhythmic in nature, so we can coordinate, we can do all those things easily. So when we get to, okay, after there's a middle age now at that time they want to start being expressive. We can now combine all of, from the slow music, more rhythmic music. Now some lyrics are coming in now, because now they want to express more. Then when we get to adolescence, then the lyric, the text, because now they're understanding, like now they're even thinking they are already an adult. You know, I think that's age between 12 to 18 or thereabout.
Not a kid anymore.
Yes. So they've had some experiences that probably we think they don't have. They have that we think is little to them. Their friend is not greeting them in school anymore. So that's where you see they sing songs that has to do with maybe live. They like lyrics of songs that has to do with what's like happening, like narrative in nature, that tells kind of story of what they can relate with or what is happening in their lives. Mm-hmm. So now, if you are going to be doing music, like where I'm a music director, by God's grace, I select music that they can relate with. In fact, you can't give them songs. I don't come and just say, okay, this song we are doing. They will not take the song from me. I bring the song, we talk, we deliberate on it. I will have to let them reason. Okay, I will have to show them what is in it for them, why the song is good for them. Wait until they say that, okay. Now I can, it allows me to express myself. People will see me because they want to be seen at that time. They want to be stars at that time. They want to be on the spotlight at that time. So anything that you do with music should be tailored around what their need is, not just throw anything at them, because they'll just become
What I have gathered from what you just said is that the kind of music you play for a child changes as the child grows.
Sure. Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, when they are still babies, what kind of music is best suited to
So,
their
like I said,
development?
if you're talking about infant, that's about age 0 to 2.
Yeah.
So at that time, you notice that the songs that are suitable are more of lullaby, slow kind of music, because what they do more at that time is eat, sleep.
And you see, he also says classical.
Yeah, because classical music gives you that.
But some are reacting to music already when they are two. When they hear music,
Like there will always be exceptions, to this thing. Like my daughter, 3 years, I'm always afraid she should not hear that song. We got somewhere yesterday and the person was just swiping the phone and this song just jumped out just for about maybe 3 seconds, track. And just like 5 minutes later, I just was hearing her singing the song. I don't play that song. We don't play it at home. We don't play it. I don't play that kind of song around my kids. I just heard Heavenly singing to her. And that thing was just for a fraction of a second that she heard it.
She
picked it up. So it's too much for her. You won't expect her at that age. She's just 3. And she already, like you said, there will be some exception, but largely for that age, they want to sleep, eat, so you give them music.
So why do certain songs trend with children? For instance, Alaji. Some children, they sang that song. Then, Joe Mape, come on to tap it back in time.
It's playful, it's play.
Playful.
Yes.
For as long as the song is playful.
As long as it's playful.
Good.
And some rhythm in it that makes them to move, jump.
Do you think those songs are, okay, maybe I should make him, let me not look at it. Let me speak productively. Do you, what would you say to musicians, music makers, the big boys who are making music for adults? They don't make songs for children, do they?
No.
So, help me beg them.
Well,
Perhaps because that's not really commercial, right?
Yes, you just
but
answered
they make
it.
some unwittingly that resonate with children, and children just
not
pick them up.
deliberate, not because they wanted to, because like you said, it's not commercial, it's business for them.
Okay, there are people who are making nursery rhymes.
Yes,
That's for children.
So there are people, mostly people who does that are more of scholars. That because they are the one that knows the elements to
the right elements in the music for children.
And because they are disciplined now, they are focused on the lyrics too. That will help the child develop. Basically, my own advocate, what I advocate for is children are meant to develop, and it's basically brain development. So cognitive helps their motor skill, helps their coordination. It helps children to be disciplined.
Forgive me, Mr. Ibio. As Salero said, these adults, music makers, were once children. The Davidos, the Wizkids, our next guests, Danny Young, the Burna Boys, all of them, they were once children who enjoyed some of these things that, the Michael Jacksons and all. The fact, it's almost as if Michael Jackson, left this world with some regret when he did that song, Where Is My Childhood? So some people weren't really allowed to be the children that they're supposed to be because of these things that you're talking about. Now, we know that children music may not be, commercially viable.
Yeah.
But there's some kind of social service, wouldn't you say? Do you see an opportunity for the most prominent, music makers in the world to at least collaborate with maybe scholars, deliberately make songs for children?
Yeah. Let me take it from the artist that you mentioned. I'll start by saying that everybody has, so to say, there's a calling. So if it's not their calling, they won't do it. Even with the adult music they do, some has even the kind of songs that they also produce that you will know that this is the kind of song to expect from Burna Boy, the kind of music to expect from Davido and the like. So everybody has even the scholars, some people are not even making music for children.
And if it's not commercially viable, they're not going
of
to go
course,
into
we've established that it's not commercially viable and it's not their calling. So
But my director was singing some songs into my ears, and which really went well. Fumi Adams. Oh, my family. There was this Princess Olajubu or something like that. But what's her name now? Christy Essiani, and such musicians are all over the nations at the time. Jimmy Sholanke literally, lived his life until he died for children. There was this other guy, Wale something, Animal Farm.
Animal Farm.
Yes, Wale something was his name. Uncle Wale is what they called him on national television back in time at the time. So these people spend their life, they were adults, they spend their lives doing that because parents are busy these days. The options of music for children are very, very limited.
Yeah.
That's why we are talking about healthy music for children. How do parents source those things and focus on those things? What many parents do this is just put on YouTube and go to the kitchen. There are commercials on the this thing on the channel, especially when you're unable to subscribe for premium.
So let me quickly pick it from the artist you mentioned. Like, it's like one of my heart cry, majorly for me, dealing with children and music. Music is my tool. I love to do whatever I'm doing around them. I'm happy around them, no matter how stressful. Even if they are 300, they are stressing me. I'm stressed, but I'm happy around them. Like my project, my final year project was actually tailored around that. Now, you talked about those artists singing songs like that. Don't forget that our culture is literally changing. The westernization is really taking a toll on what we used to believe and how we used to act. Those days, our culture, it focuses on family, marriage, children are very important. Even those days, the likes of Sonny Ade, when they sing their song, is in stages. They start by singing praises before they go to their other things. It's structured. But now, the value to pay attention to the children is actually fading away because of westernization. Now, you mentioned also about how would parents pay attention to that. It's one of the things that I discussed during my project, that scholars really need to step up, because go online, if they deliberately go, like, you still see some nursery rhymes and all that they can't pay attention to. I have reads for my kids, so that they should deliberately make sure that is what they play for their children. But for African music, like you mentioned, we don't have it readily available like the Western nursery rhymes yet, which I believe a lot of scholars are really looking into it. It will take time, but I believe it will happen.
Don't you think it has taken too long already?
Yes,
we still have some of those children's songs in Africa now.
Yes.
None comes to my brain right now, but we have.
Yes.
And they have such songs all over the nation.
Yes.
All over the nation. That these options are there.
But it looks like those were from back in the day.
Yeah.
There are no musicians who are doing that these days.
These days. But we can't come from there because those are songs that teaches morals, discipline, and there are some certain messages to them. And if you look at even the rhythm, the rhythm helps more than even apart from what the lyrics is also doing. Because Africa is reading it, some of these songs, sometimes, even those days, that thing I just forgot now. He doesn't have that sensible lyrics like that. We call it nonsensical, but the rhythm, just like play. But because it focuses on play at that time, this reading, and it helps children to grow and develop very well. But these days, it's no longer like that. But we are looking into it. I'm also working on some things.
Especially because we know you're also a songwriter. One last thing, what would you be telling parents right now, watching you and wondering themselves at a loss? Things aren't getting easier. The options for music are so vast and diverse now. And it's back in time, we could regulate music on traditional media. but now it's a lot difficult because even the media space has been totally liberalized with social media, YouTube, and all those things, so people can put their music on those platforms without any kind of regulation, so to speak. So, what would you be telling parents now? How can they be intentional given the difficulty that they have?
I don't think it's something really hard. Like the way we have all of these songs that are not children friendly. We also have songs that are children friendly. They should just be deliberate. I do it. I have songs. I have channels. Let them be deliberate. Download songs that is good for their children.
Okay, you also talked about the one that your children listen to for 3 songs and stuck. Anyway.
So, but out of the abundance of their heart, if they feel their children enough with that kind of music, they will grow with it. Then again, they should enroll their children. Let them participate in music. It's very important. That will also help them appreciate the music that is good for children.
Yeah. Music director Abiodun Ibiyo, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We shall try and be deliberate about the music we play when there are children around.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you very much for coming.
Okay.
We'll be back shortly with the home stretch. I don't want you to sing. Thank you very much.